Hi everyone, this is Athena from Courage Coaching. Thank you so much for stopping by today. In today's video, I'm going to talk about a topic that's very close to my heart, and it's one that I have struggled with in the past. I have come to a place now where this isn't a problem anymore. There is still a lingering feeling of sadness and maybe a little bit of that feeling of emptiness, but I don't feel tortured by this pain anymore as I did many years ago. Now, I'm going to read you a poem that I wrote in my early 20s when I was really struggling with my relationship with my mother. And this poem, although not perfect because I'm not a poet by any means, it captures very well the feeling of what it's like to be your own mother's mother, what it is truly like to be parentified, and what it is truly like to feel this burden of never having been a child and to have always had to worry about your mother's emotions, your mother's mental well-being, your mother's opinions, and always putting her feelings first. Whereas in reality, your mother should have been your mother and you should have been the child. Now, this is obviously very common in families where the mother is emotionally immature or has some sort of personality disorder. And unfortunately, in these situations, there isn't a lot the child can do. I will read you the poem and you can decide what it might mean for you. Maybe some of you will be able to relate to it. I am my mother's mother, burdened, weary, filled with rage. I should have been a child, allowed to laugh, to act my age. I am my mother's mother. Who asked if this was fair? I held her when I was crying, a weight too heavy to bear. I am my mother's mother, catering to her every whim, my own needs left to wither, my childhood lost, my world grown dim. I am my mother's mother, her moods a storm I couldn't flee. I flinched beneath her anger's weight and ached when she forgot to see. I am my mother's mother, empty, hollowed out by fear. I wish she'd truly known me, so I wouldn't disappear. I am my mother's mother. But who then is she? A child trapped in shadows who never learned to be free. I am my mother's mother. But now it's time to heal, to parent my own wounded soul and allow myself to feel. Now, for some of you, this poem may feel like it resonates. For some of you, it may be very powerful. What does it mean when you are your mother's mother? What do you give up when you end up putting your mother's needs first? What happens when you're only 2 years old or 3 years old and you need your mother to mirror things back to you? When you need your mother to smile with you when you are smiling? When you need your mother to help you feel this healthy attachment, but she isn't able to do this. Being your mother's mother is something that sticks with you for life, and it's something which feels like a full-time job, unless, of course, you cut ties with your mother. When we've been our mother's mother, we have this unmet need to find that motherly love that we never had. And the only thing we know is to be everybody else's mother, is to care for everybody else in search of this mother's love that we never got. We care for others constantly. We give to others constantly because we are desperately seeking to fill the void of this lack of motherly love, of this lack of being truly seen. The reality is that mothers who can't actually mother their children are usually mothers who weren't mothered in their childhood. Now, what happens when a mother isn't emotionally attuned to her child, when there is no mirror held up, no positive reflection is being shared with the child? Developing a positive sense of self and a secure sense of self becomes very challenging for the child when this doesn't exist. Emotionally neglectful or narcissistic parents will show an opposite emotion towards a child in a moment where the child is maybe happy or is excited. The parent may be indifferent or annoyed or show anger. And of course, this will confuse the child because what the child is feeling is not being reflected back to them from their mother. The child will feel that their response isn't real, isn't valid, and is wrong. If this is done repeatedly in a child's life, then the child learns to not trust their own emotions, their own responses, and often they start feeling like they are wrong themselves, that they are not good enough, that they don't deserve to be happy. And they end up doing things for the parent, hoping that they will be rewarded with this love and with being seen by their parent. But when the parent cannot do this, the child is left traumatized. The child is left trying to figure out who it is. Now, even when we become mothers ourselves and we do so much for our children and our partners, we must remember that our needs matter too. It is perfectly normal in society for mothers to be doing everything for everybody else without considering their own needs at all. Our needs as mothers, as children, should always matter more than what we can do for others and more than what we are to others. Needs matter. It is important to realize and be aware of the fact that if you were your mother's mother, that if you didn't have this unconditional love met by your mother, if you didn't feel this sacred bond in the healthy way that you should have felt it with your mother, that you are going to have to learn to re-mother yourself. You are going to have to learn to become your own parent, to give yourself the things that you didn't get in your childhood, to make sure that you don't pass on the same generational trauma onto your own children. Awareness is key. Generational trauma can end if we give ourselves the space to exist, if we give ourselves the empathy that we need, if we give ourselves that loving inner mother that we never had. So reparenting ourselves and healing our inner child is a very good way to enable us to move forward. Be aware, if you were your mother's mother, if you felt overly responsible for your mother's emotions your whole life, if you feel guilty when you're not catering to your mother's wishes because you just want to be loved, then you need to do some work on yourself and start the healing journey. Start setting boundaries with your mother. Start giving yourself space to just be who you want to be without feeling guilty, without feeling that you have to constantly do things for your mother in order to get a tiny amount of love. Your mother was emotionally immature. Your mother wasn't mothered properly by her own mother. She has her own trauma. She isn't going to give you what you needed. She isn't going to change. So the only thing you can do is to give yourself what your mother couldn't give you. So you need to start noticing how you feel in your body. You need to start noticing how burnt out you might feel. You need to start noticing how much you need to feel seen and you need to feel loved. If you are your mother's mother, then please feel free to share your experience in the comments below this video. Thank you so much for listening and watching today, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.